Yeah, and you guys nail it. So I have nothing here to provide. We'll move over with the call ups here because it obviously directly impacts or is directly there's correlation with a few of them here. The Reign had four players that they'll be sending to that futures camp in LA. Obviously Darlene and Mason, who we've just talked about, but then Jordan Bug, who has also been mentioned as being teammates with both of them at times, and then Ainsley McCammon also making that list. So it's cool to see that. I don't think there's too much to talk about in that regard. It is cool to see these players, that will be part of the Reign's future for years to come. Obviously, gaining this recognition and getting to, showcase what they can do at that stage with, the best to represent this country. But then also with the more senior team, Lynn Williams, newly acquired Lynn Williams, and Claudia Dickey were named as call-ups for the U.S. Women's National Team in their January camp. Um, Lynn is a scratch from that, as I believe Bella said we talked about before we started. She's dealing with a hamstring injury, if I'm correct. But Dickey was the one where I remember, seeing this and I was like, oh, I didn't expect it. So I know it's cool. I mean, as watching the Rain all these matches year in and year out, since she's kind of taken that spot over after, Fallon Tullis-Joyce, that situation where she's obviously with Manchester United. Um, it's been really interesting to see how Claudia has grown and filled into that starting position with the Rain. I didn't necessarily have her on the radar for the US. Um, but I'm not going to complain. It's obviously really cool to be able to represent your country. Um, Bella, what did you think about this? Were you surprised? And then Becca, you can pick up where Bella leaves off. But at least personally for me, I did not expect this. It'll be cool to see what she can do and what she can, provide. For the Rain, it's kind of cool to see more than one or none players getting named to the U.S. team because obviously for a while the Rain had at least one all the time.
Yeah, I was definitely confused at first. I had seen the roster the night before and was making up a graphic, and I was just kind of not really sure what to make of it. Um, I think regardless, it is a great opportunity for her. Training in that environment with those coaches, I think will benefit her. Um, and the more I thought about it, the more I realized that the goalkeeper position for the U.S. Women's National Team right now is wide open, with Alyssa Nair retiring and there being no real strong number two goalkeeper behind her. Neither Jane Campbell or Aubrey Kingsbury have really made a solid play on that third spot. Casey Murphy is likely to be the starter, but she's had some issues too, not always been consistent. And I think it makes total sense for Emma Hayes to fully explore every option possible before the World Cup in 2027. You make those changes while you have the time. Um, I think Dickie's strong suits are she's a really great distributor. She's a really great passer with her feet. I think that's why she overtook Fallon Joyce in starting position the previous season. And I also think she's capable of making brilliant saves. She won a couple Save of the Week awards, and I think it's hard to judge her abilities based on last season because she had a really rough defense in front of her. You can only make so many saves when your defense is not helping you. And she didn't make any, you know, horrible mistakes. There were, some issues where maybe her pass eventually led to a goal, and Laura would talk about that post game. But really, especially for her size, I think around 5'10" or something, she's a really great shot stopper. We've seen her make, I mean, brilliant reaction saves where she is covering a distance with a leap that you just don't expect. And so I think it was surprising based on where the Reign finished in the table. Um, but I don't think where the Reign finished on the table and the amount of goals that they conceded were indicative of her abilities.
Okay. Yeah, I would say I think the saves was the main thing I was gonna highlight as well. Just like you see it like time and time again with her. And I think that's something like that's definitely one of her strong suits. Um, definitely also surprised. But I would also agree that the position is pretty wide open. I think you pretty much hit all the points already, but I think it's nice for her to get an opportunity and like really have that coaching and be there with everyone and like kind of just get that experience.
Yeah, I mean, like you guys have both said, I mean, when you've got a position like that where it's not like you've got a someone there who is going to take the spot for certain. I mean, I don't know, maybe Claudia surprises everybody. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't sure how I felt about her, when, all of this stuff happened with Fallon. I was like, oh, I don't know. Like, I remember them bringing her in from UNC, another UNC mention. I was just like, I just didn't know at the time. And to be fair, even when they signed Fallon Joyce, back when they were playing in Shoney, I was like, who the hell is this kid from New York, like, that they're bringing in? And there you go. So yeah, no, I mean, it'll be cool. I mean, again, crazier things have happened. She can surprise and carve her own name out, or even then, if she doesn't, do enough, then maybe there's things where like you guys mentioned with the coaching staffs, where they say, hey, there's something we have here. I need you to work on this, but we like what you've got, tools wise. So yeah, I like what you both highlighted with the big saves. Like, that's something, at least my brain is so much hockey at this time of the year because it's really all that's happening largely, at least at the professional level as well. Um is like, so often with goalies and the best goaltenders, as you hear, like, make the big save. And that's what Claudia has been able to do. So, I just wish that it's unfortunate that when the fans who created the Claudia clause, when they got him in shipping, she was hurt. Just terrible timing. So life's terrible. Life sucks. Um,
Hey, Charles.
hey Jen.
Hey, where are you going to watch all the away games for Seattle Reign FC this year?
Away games. Well, since Rough and Tumble is the home of Circling Seattle Sports, I was thinking of coming here if that's okay with you.
I think that makes a lot of sense. See y'all here.